people, this is your boy Randy Gonzalez Jr. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of Mind to Mind, where we talk about tips, ideas, and strategies that you can actually grow and get it from your mind. We are super excited and honored to have an amazing guest on today. As a matter of fact, I've been working with this individual for quite some time, and she's actually an intern for our company. But I wanted to get it from her perspective, this topic. And this topic you guys are going to get a lot of value out of. So if you're ready to take some notes, go ahead and get your notepad and pen out, and we're going to definitely rock and roll. So without further ado, let me go and introduce you to our special guest, Janey Moran, and she is from Colorado. So what's up, Janey?
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing outstanding. So today's topic that I asked her to talk about, because we've been talking about, since she is interning for us right now, what are her thoughts? What has she learned? Kind of the progression that's taken over the past 4 years. And we came up with this topic, and I think it's going to be really great for those of you that are not only entering college, maybe are in college, or maybe just exited college, and maybe you can reflect on this as well. So our topic today is BS I believed before I started college and what I know now 4 years later. Janey, let's rock. All right, so cool. So what I'm going to do is I just want to ask you some real brief questions and give the audience a little bit, about yourself and, how it came about to doing what you do right now. So go for it.
Yeah, so my name is Janey. I am from Colorado, and I've been in college for 4 years. Now, I do come from a background, I am a first-generation student. So I thought that, college was the way to go in order to succeed. But 4 years later, I've realized that it's not how it works.
Really?
Yeah.
And what do you mean by first year college student? So nobody else in your family's ever went to college or anything, correct?
Yeah, first generation. My parents didn't go to college, and I'm the oldest of 2 siblings, so I'm the very first to go to college. And so, yeah, that's why I'm in college. I also received a scholarship to go, which was an amazing opportunity. I took it, but it's not really what I anticipated.
Okay, I got you. And that's where we're going to get to the heart of the matter. We're going to dive into it really deep right now. So I've got some thought-provoking questions for you, and I know I didn't share any of these questions with you, and I'm sure you're wondering, what the heck am I going to ask? Yeah. So here we go, okay? So my first question for you is what's one thing you wish you would have known before you began college?
One thing I wish I would have known before, is for them to, or I wish I would have known that they weren't going to teach me how to use these resources, like investing into myself, and knowing how to actually get to where I want to be. Like setting goals, having a journal is really important. They haven't taught that. As we mentioned earlier, they give you a license, they give you a driver's license, and they don't teach you how to drive.
Woo,
so
that's crazy.
Yeah. Pretty crazy.
I thought I saw you on the road. No, just kidding. No. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say that you don't want any crazy drivers out there.
Yeah, and that's the reality of it, though. So many people, as a matter of fact, because obviously a lot of the audience knows that we deal with business financing, with startups. We also deal with people that mess up their credit, how to get it fixed. We see a lot of students that take out this enormous amount of debt without any indication on how in the heck are they going to pay it back. I mean, seriously, they can't even purchase a home, or much less get their own apartment or house. But I've seen the highest student loan I've seen that they had was like $230,000. And I'm not, and I forgot what the guy was doing. He was like he was a school teacher or something like that. So his income wasn't that high, and it's like, this dude's gonna owe this forever. So, yeah. So okay. So second question for you is, what is your biggest failure, and what did you learn from it?
My biggest failure, I'd say not being able to take risks sooner. And by that, I mean that I went to college not knowing what I was going to study. But as I mentioned earlier, I thought that I had to go to be successful. And so I've been really passionate about public speaking and just speaking to audience and inspiring through stories. But in college, I was required to take a public speaking course, and I didn't end up taking it until I finished my degree in my associate's degree, which is a 2-year degree. I didn't take the public speaking course until after. And the only reason I didn't take it is because I was intimidated by the professor. She was very hard. She came off very hard to me. And so after 2 years, I still didn't know what I wanted to major in. I was going to go for my bachelor's, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. And until I took that course, it really spoke to me. And so for me, my biggest failure is that I had to take risks sooner rather than later. So if I would have done that sooner, maybe I wouldn't have continued my 2 years of college. Or maybe I could have been doing something else in the industry that I want to be in. And so for me, the biggest failure I've had is not taking the risk sooner. And I've learned just to take risks whenever, as soon as you can.
Yeah, no, that's very, very important, especially for our audience. I mean, I'll share with the audience as well too. I remember one of my mentors was talking about a risk factor, and they went to a place where old people go. Sometimes they call it retirement homes or convalescent homes. And there was a survey that was done many years ago. This is a true story. And they interviewed 1,000 people over the age of 80. And they asked them, if you were to go back just 40 years, when you're in your 40s, they call that your prime time in life, what would you have done differently? And unequivocally, across the board, every single one of them said, I would have taken more risk. It's amazing. So just think, if more people, if you guys are listening, just think right now, wherever you're at, if you're 80, guess what? You might have some life left. Take those freaking risks. But if you're not, maybe if you're in your 50s or your 40s or your 30s or your 20s, or maybe you're still in high school, it doesn't matter. What matters is stretch your ability, trust your faith muscles, and it's applied faith. Use those muscles, use them in a way that's going to challenge you to be great. So that's pretty awesome. But thank you for sharing that with me. So that's pretty cool. Okay, let's go to question numero 3. And by the way, gang, she speaks Spanish fluently, and I'm trying to learn, but we'll just leave it at that. So it's an inside joke, but yeah, it's bad. So for me, but question number 3 for you is: what advice would you give to someone trying to pursue a degree similar to yours?
It really depends what you want to get out of it, what they want to get out of it. Like for me, I took the opportunity just because I was given the money to go, and I knew that a lot of students don't have that given to them. It's obviously it was a scholarship that I had to work for. It wasn't just free, but still, a lot of students don't have that opportunity. So it really depends on the outcome that they want. So what I wanted to do, I've always had this entrepreneur mindset coming from my dad. And for me, it's just wanting to learn more about business, the basics of business. Unfortunately, that hasn't been put into practice just because the way the school system is set up. And so, for my advice, it really depends. If you're given the opportunity to go to college, I can't say you have to go or don't go. But I would study who you want to be like, or get mentored by those people. Like, for example, if you want to be a millionaire, I would get mentored by millionaires, or I would go and study a millionaire. And I would also recommend that, these professors, they're teaching this subject about entrepreneurship, and some aren't even entrepreneurs.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it's really crazy how it's pretty much fake.
Yeah, let me show you how to survive, and yet I've never been in a survival situation. Yeah, and I hope you make it.
Yes.
That's crazy.
So that's my best advice. It's really study who you want to be like, and know why you want to go into, or why you're going into business, or why are you studying that.
Okay, nice. Well, definitely thanks for that advice. And gang, she's right on. Success leaves clues is what she's saying. So find somebody, read the books, listen to the audio programs, do whatever you can, and mentor from people who've already did it, who have already struggled, and narrow down that quote unquote failure time, because you can learn from two things. I always tell people you can learn from either mistakes or mentors. I always recommend learn from mentors that'll help keep some of the wounds off of your your body, your mind, your soul, your spirit, your personal bank account. So yes, exactly. So my next question for you is what have you read or listened to recently that inspired you?
Um, the last book I read that really inspired me is Rich Dad Poor Dad
Oh, nice.
by Robert Kiyosaki.
Yeah, Robert
And
Kiyosaki, good dude. Yeah.
Kiyosaki, yes.
Yeah.
I really recommend him to anybody, just because it shows you the mentality of a rich person and a poor person, and he refers it to his rich dad, which was his friend's,
hmm
and which was his friend's dad, and then the poor dad, which was his dad, about just being able to get a stable job, to be able to pay bills and just live. Whereas his rich dad recommended him something else. But I would really recommend that book for anybody who is trying to change their mind.
hmm
And I watch a lot of Grant Cardone, a lot of mentoring from him. I mean, he is a billionaire, and I'm trying to learn from him. So,
Right.
yes, definitely
Good.
recommend these
Yeah.
the mentor that you want to be like.
Yeah, no, I remember reading Robert Kiyosaki many years ago, and there was a chance I got to speak at a certain engagement that he was at too. So, definitely another great book that he has is the Cash Flow Quadrant, which shows the different things that you go from like employed, self-employed, business owner to investor, and how to basically cross that line. So yeah, and he's the one that, he's the one that actually I learned from what's the difference between an asset and a liability. Assets are things that feed you, liabilities are things that eat you. So definitely, and you guys definitely get a copy of that, Rich Dad Poor Dad. You could even download it on Audible and just listen to it. Put it in your car, turn your car into driving university. So yeah, definitely. And then GC, yeah, Uncle G's the man. So yeah, as a matter of fact,
Yeah.
that's how we got connected. So yeah, he's definitely had a huge impact and is continuing to have a huge impact on a major scale. So him and the 10x rule, and who's got my money? Success is my duty. Don't be a little beep. We'll keep it like that for this one, just in case my mom's watching. No. But yeah, definitely. So my next question for you is: who are three people who have been most influential to you? Give me three people.
My dad,
Your papa.
my papa,
Yeah.
my mom,
Your mama.
my mom, yes, and well, there's a lot.
Just top three. One more. One
Top
more.
three.
Yeah.
One more. Well, I'm gonna say you.
Oh, me. Okay, thanks.
You.
Gang, I
Yes.
did not put her up to this. Okay, thank you so much. But thank you, thank you. Now, when you look to people that really inspire you, and you look to figure out different lessons from, they're always going to pour into you. Even sometimes when they think you're not ready, they push you and drive you. And sometimes it feels like, it's so much pressure. But the reality is we just want the very best, not only for you or for whoever else we're teaching. And I know you're going to be mentoring some people as well too. So, but that's the driving force. A great leader, I believe, is what they do is they take a difficult subject and make it easy enough to understand. A difficult a person is like some of my professors back in college who took a simple subject and made it so difficult. And then when we figured it out, we were just like, well, why didn't he just say that?
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel you, and thank you for that. I appreciate that. So next question for you, and we only got a couple more, is what's one myth about your degree or major that you want to debunk? Now, I know maybe there might be some professors who are like, oh, snap, here we go. But I'm here to tell the truth. The whole truth, nothing but the truth. So help me God. I believe you raise your right hand. So, yeah. So, yeah.
I guess the myth is that you need a degree to be successful.
Wow. And how so? How so? So you're saying, what you're saying is it's not necessary to go to college, go to 4 years, get your degree, and then start a business or work for a company, become very successful financially, economically. You saying you can do it on your own without college? It's possible in
It
this day
is
and age.
it is possible.
What?
It is
Since when?
possible
I've been
in
hearing
this
that my
day.
whole life. You got to go to school. You got to, get a degree, work really hard, work your way up the ladder, retire with the gold watch, and live off of half of what you couldn't live on while you were making full time income. Okay, yeah, that's horrible, right? So
It's horrible. Now,
let's.
I must say that college does teach you to be resourceful. It prepares you to do research on things that you want, or whatever you want to find out. But we have so much information accessible to us. We have YouTube, we have the internet.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. There's a saying that says, millennials know everything, but they don't use it. And that's,
Ooh, I never heard that one. Say that
Yeah.
one again. I'm gonna tell my nephews and nieces that one. No.
Yeah. Write it down.
Yeah.
Millennials know everything, but they don't use it.
Wow.
And yeah, it's true. We know how to use the internet. I mean, these kids nowadays, they know how to use videos, edit videos, make TikToks, whatever, and they just don't know how to use all that information that they know. And I mean, you could literally look up how to be a millionaire on YouTube, and you'll come across some mentors. That's actually how I've come across these mentors like Grant Cardone and other
Right.
people that I follow. But yeah, there's so much information accessible to us, so you don't need college to be and start a successful
Yeah,
business.
because that's another thing that's actually caused a big issue. Because obviously we deal with financing, and what we do is we read people's credit reports, and a lot of times when we have these student loans that people have, they've accumulated so much, they don't have an idea of how to pay it off, and they're working, and I'm like, well, what did you get your degree for? And it's something completely different than they went to school for. I'm like, wait a minute, you got a loan out, you went to school and paid for it with this loan. You got this degree, and you're working in a completely different industry. Yes, I don't get it. Maybe it's just me. I'm the crazy one. I don't know, but that's weird. That's just weird to me. Okay, I don't know. So, but yeah, who knows? That's one of those weird questions. I'm not gonna take that class and try to figure out why that happens.
Yeah.
No-
Sorry.
no, go ahead. I was gonna say I got another question for you. So
Yeah.
if you were in my shoes right now, my seat, my chair, what question would you've asked yourself? Or basically, let me rephrase this: if you're in my shoes with questions, what would you have asked yourself that I didn't?
Um. Well, then you're gonna make me answer it.
It's part of my mad genius.
You're mad genius.
Yeah.
What made? I guess I'm speaking in your voice. So, what made you choose to work with me?
Okay, now you got to answer that.
Now I'm gonna answer it.
Yeah, and guys, believe me, this is not easy by any means, okay? So I'm giving her some mad props, but hopefully one of these days she's going to be maybe interviewing you when you start your business, you start growing it, expanding, so you'll be on the net, one of the episodes of Mind the Mind, and hundreds of thousands of people will be able to watch it, so yes, but go ahead, answer your question.
I'll answer my question.
I got to hear this.
So there was a lot of opportunity offered through social media, through LinkedIn, and just like Facebook. I did try to reach out to people, just asking like, "Hey, does anybody need an intern?" And there were some opportunities, but it felt like, this is going to sound really bad, but it felt like I was going to be a tax benefit to them.
A tax benefit. Wow,
A
okay.
tax benefit, yeah.
I don't even know
And
how
we'll
that
get
works, but okay.
that later. Yeah.
Yeah.
But well, with you, it did not feel that way. Instead, like, I actually kind of tried to avoid you at the beginning,
Cool.
and you kept asking me like, "Hey, is this something you're still looking for?" And so it really showed me that you really wanted to help me. And I was over here trying to look for other opportunities, but you were the one that really had, like, you're like, "Do you want to be financially literate?" And I said, well, yes, I want to invest into real estate, but in order to do that, I have to be able to be financially literate. And so you stopped me from approaching all these people, and that's what brings me here.
Cool. Yeah, it's good old Uncle G 101. No.
Yes.
All
Yeah,
right.
so it showed that you really wanted to help.
And I think that comes across with anyone who's genuine on what they do. Like that's why I like the Robert Kiyosaki's, I like the Grant Cardones, is because they have a passion, and sometimes they are tough, but it's only because they know they want you to succeed. Because I think one of the biggest testimonials that anybody could ever have is they say, and I made it, and I remember, and they say your name helped me get to where I'm at. I mean, that's freaking awesome. So yeah. So don't worry, we got a lot of work to do. No.
Yeah.
So and then my last question for you, besides when we're going to do a rapid fire, is what does freedom mean to you?
Freedom to me means not having to um not having to exchange my time for money. So, as we've talked before, having profits over wages,
Mm-hmm.
not having to have the active income where you have to go to work 9 to 5. If I can, let's say, retire from that, I mean, for me, that is freedom. And not only that, but also being able to achieve these big dreams that I have, like being able to retire my parents at a young age, like
Mm-hmm.
as soon as possible, and also being able to buy them their dream home, dream cars, and then being able to give back to those who have helped me, and as well as families in Mexico.
Nice,
For
nice.
me, that's the definition of freedom.
And one thing that I liked about when I first started working with you and stuff too, you told me about different work you guys did in Mexico and kind of your vision on how to give back in a certain way. Because I'm very passionate about that. As many of my audience, maybe they do know. Some people just meeting us for the first time don't know what we do down at Father Joe's and the homeless shelter, and feed a lot of people during, especially Thanksgiving during those colder months. But yeah, no, that's very awesome. It's noble, and it feels it feels so good. I know we talked about this recently, but it's something that money can't buy. When you have
Yeah.
that feeling, knowing I helped this person, you get more out of it than they do, and they don't even know it because just the feeling you get, it's just like wow. Because I remember long ago, many years ago, I could barely help myself. Much less you want me to buy you what? You want a burger too, or you want a burrito too?
Yeah.
So yeah, but it's awesome when you can help hundreds of people and do something good. Or yeah, and one of my other buddies did an event for some homeless kids as well too, and I went into my old hometown and we bought them a bunch of new socks, sweatpants, sweatshirts, t-shirts, all kinds of stuff for the winter. Just in the roll, just because at first he was asking for donations, and I'm like, well, I'm from out of town, so as a matter of fact, I took my mom with me, and we both went down. We bought a bunch of stuff, and we said, here you go. We don't I can't fly down 8 hours to just find donations, but here's all brand new stuff. So yeah, let's help these kids out. So built a major lifetime friendship because of it, but that's pretty cool. So let me just recap for everybody kind of some of the things that we talked about today that I think will have a huge impact in your life. So one of the things, if I can get an understanding, obviously, Janey, is that number one, the most important thing is you got to take freaking risk. No risk, no reward, right? Okay.
Right.
Number two is find a great mentor, somebody that can teach you, lead you, and guide you, and not be easy on you because you got to succeed. You've got to be pushed sometimes. You can only push yourself so much, but we could either learn through mistakes or we can learn through mentors. Mistakes, hey, you got a great story, but mentors, you can just go further and then start making new attributes to whatever it is in society. And then also, what I want to do is I want to do real quickly what I call as rapid fire questions, okay? And the rapid fire questions works like this. All I'm going to do is I'm going to pop off a question, and I want you to say one word in your mind, first thing that pops in your mind as the answer. And we're just going to
Okay.
go through a bunch, okay? And then we're going to rock and roll and end it here. Cool? All right.
Okay.
Are you ready? Stretching out. Get my water.
Yeah, drink some water. Cheers.
Cheers. All right. Here we go. So, first pop off question we're going to go. The number one is sales.
Money.
Personal development.
Yourself.
That one word? Okay. Okay. Love.
Family.
Food.
Pizza.
Financing.
Cash flow.
Credit.
I'm gonna have to say 2 words. Report card.
Okay. Work ethic.
Success.
Energy.
24/7.
Health.
First.
Spirituality.
Christian.
Journaling.
Every day.
Nice, I love it. And thank you so much. Actually, we're gonna finish and wrap it up right here. But thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. I know those of you guys that are getting some tremendous value from this, and I know you've learned some things like okay, I got to find out a great mentor. I got to be able to take risk. You're listening to these things so you can improve your life, and that's a huge reward for us to actually provide this value to you guys in such a major way. So for those of you that are looking to connect with Janey, how can somebody actually, and how can the listeners actually find you online?
Well, I'm on all social media: LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. I do have an online business as well, so if anybody wants to reach out, I am Janey Moran, and I will answer any questions I can.
Okay, and then also, guys, once the edit team actually finishes this, I'll put all the description of how you can reach her. Definitely, you deserve to connect with her. She's definitely a person that's going to be something major in the future. Not only major now, but she's going to definitely go places and take you along with you on the journey. So you deserve to connect with her. So cool. So thank you so much once again for coming on. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to tell you guys about our next podcast after this. We're going to talk about how to boost your credit so you can get a home loan this year. So this is going to wrap up today's episode of Mind the Mind, and I want you guys to all take this information, use it in a powerful way that can inspire you, inspire others, and those around you. So I want you guys to all live with fulfillment, serve with passion, so in this lifetime you can actually leave with no regrets. Until next time, God bless, be great, and you're freaking amazing.